In this video, we are going to be creating a random hover animation for any flying object that includes random movement and rotation, and it's going to be very easy to adjust how fast it moves, how far it moves, how fast and far it rotates by using sliders, so you can really just change it up, make it crazy or make it look normal. Let's dive in. We don't want to use the animator to create this particular animation. We want to code it. And we could do that using the built-in Unity tools. However, there's a great plugin called DoTween, and I'll provide a link to this in the video description, that will allow us to code our animations with much more ease. So I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to go to the Package Manager, and it's already showing up here. So I'm just going to import DoTween into my project. If you don't have it already, like I said, you're going to want to get it from the asset store and then import it. Once it's imported, this window is going to pop up. I'm just going to go here and say Open DoTween Utility Panel. And I'm going to press the green button here to set up DoTween, which will add the required modules. You can check or uncheck anything you want to include or exclude. I'll just leave all of these checked. The one I'm really interested in for this particular project is physics. I don't necessarily need physics 2D, but that's okay. I'll just keep it anyways in case there's any 2D assets that get added. You can also create an ASMDEF file if you need one, but this is a simple prototype, not required here. So I'll just go ahead and close this window now that DoTween has been installed in my Unity project. Next, I want to create some separation of animation logic here. In case I want to do something like make my bird fly from left to right or up and down, I want that particular animation to be different from the one that's going to make the bird be hovering around in its place. So to create this separation, I'm going to right-click on the bird and press Create Empty Parent, which is going to create an empty game object. Well, not an empty game object here, but it's going to put the bird model inside of a separate game object. I'll just rename this to bird, and then I can rename this one here to bird model, for instance. And over on this bird model, this is the one we are going to be animating. And what I can do here is if I want to make the left and right animation, I would do it on the bird parent, but the hovering itself is just going to be on this bird model embodied within here. Also, as a good naming practice, I may want to have additional enemies that can make use of this hover logic. So when I'm going to create a new mono behavior script, I'm not going to name it like bird or bird hover. I'm just going to name it hover tween, and that way it can go on the bird, but it could also go on other enemies that want to make use of the hover animation. Finally, let's not forget to attach the hover tween script onto the bird model. I've gone ahead and created the following methods and setup for the hover tween script, so you can copy these. And next, we'll need to add the using statement at the top using dg.tweening to import DoTween into our script. Then we'll need to set up a few variables. We'll start with a serialized field, private transform, and we'll call this first one hover target. And there's going to be some common variables that we'll be using between the move and rotation methods. So rather than typing them out twice, let's go ahead here and also make a system.serializable class. And we'll make this class public class hover tween properties. And then within here, we'll create a public float, and we'll call this one radius. And we can even assign this a default value of 1f. We'll make a public float duration, and this is going to be how long it takes for one animation to complete. We'll also assign this a default value of 1f. And then this one, we'll create one third one, and we'll call it public ease, which is specific to DoTween, and we'll just call this ease. And we'll actually give this an assignment as well of ease.in-out-quad, which I like for our animations. And ease is basically like the curves, how smoothly the animation is going to play. Also, we'll tidy this up a little bit by adding some ranges on here. We'll type range, and then we'll add in, say, 0 to 20 for the radius, which is pretty huge. It's bigger than we'll need for movement, but we might want a bigger number for our rotation. And then for our duration, we can also assign a range here of, say, 0 to 3f. We don't want the animation to take too long to play. And then up here at the top, we'll define a serialized field, private hover tween properties, move properties, and press Control CV to copy that and name this second one rotate properties. Now the code here is going to be very similar but somewhat different, but let's make it as easy on ourselves as possible. So let's pass through the properties as an argument within each of these methods, and we're just going to call this variable type hover tween properties, and then we'll name the variable properties. We're going to copy this over into the other method, do random rotation, and then to fix this, I'm going to pass through move properties here in the start and rotate properties here in the start for the other method. Within here, let's start by creating a vector3 variable, and let's call this random, and this is going to be equal to random dot. Now you might be familiar with using random.range. You may or may not have used inside unit sphere. If you hover over this, it's going to tell you that it returns a random point inside or on a sphere with a radius. This is very perfect for our purposes because we want the bird to basically be moving within a sphere. We're just going to multiply this by properties dot radius, and just like that, we're going to get our random value. Next, we are going to move our bird, and we're going to do this by typing hover target dot do local move, and then we're going to open some parentheses, and it's going to give us a list of different things it's asking for. First one is the end value, so where should it move to? It's going to move to, well, random. That's what we've just declared up above. Then it wants to know the duration, so how long should the move take? It's going to be properties.duration. And then the third argument, which we don't need to add, but it's snapping, because we want this to be kind of a smooth animation. We're just going to ignore that. We're not going to set that to true. We can just leave it on the default of false. I'm going to drop down a line, type dot set ease, and here's where we're going to add our properties dot ease. And again, the ease is like an animation curve, so it's going to determine how smoothly or not smoothly the animation looks when it plays. And then finally, I'm going to go down one more line and type dot on complete. And there is on complete with a capital O. There's also one with a lowercase o. We want the one with the on complete here. This is a callback that we're going to trigger. And we're going to open up parentheses and then put another pair of parentheses inside, do a lambda expression, and type do random move, passing through the move properties again. It's a bit of a mouthful, but this is basically called a recursive method. I'm going to type that out here. If you're unfamiliar with recursive methods, they are methods that call themselves. So, do random move is basically going to call itself and just do that infinitely. It can be dangerous if done incorrectly, but this is a simple use case, so it should work just fine. Then I'm going to copy all this code, paste it here, within the brackets, under do random rotation. I'm going to change it here from do local move to do local rotate. And again, I'm going to change this from do random move to do random rotation. And I'm going to delete the move properties here and change this to rotate properties. Everything else should work smoothly. I think that's all we need to change. So let's save and go back to Unity and test that out. Okay, over here, we need to make sure that we assign the bird model to the hover target, and then just like that, we can hit play and see what happens. And our bird is moving. It doesn't really look like he's rotating, although he actually is. You can see the numbers are changing. It's just that the radius here for the rotate properties is really low. So if we crank it all the way up to 20, we can see that he definitely is rotating now. Also, if we were to change something like the ease from in-out quad, which is a very smooth sort of rotation, to something crazy like in-out elastic, it just makes him look like he's a corpse with rigor mortis, so you can make it kind of horrifying at the same time. And if we adjust the duration to be a shorter number, we could see he's like really just going to be twitching around. So it's really easy to change the feel of this just by adjusting some of the numbers and the values and the ease, which is the great flexibility that this system has to offer. I'll also just add that inside unit sphere is ideal for the movement. It's not the most ideal for the rotation. You can see it does work, it's just not the most ideal. So I mean, if you really wanted to be specific about this, you could do something instead like this, which would make more sense for rotation. And if you were going to do this, I might also even just rename this from radius to amount, so it kind of makes more sense for both cases. Like if we go test this out now, and maybe even up this range to 30, we'll see that it works all the same, and maybe even it does work a little bit better if we do it this way. You can again crank these numbers up, lower them, make them whatever you'd like. Anyways, hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.